What makes somebody a good person, right? Is there a distinctive quality or personality trait that you can have that just makes you undeniably a good person? What about a bad person? What makes somebody a bad person? Is there an undeniable trait that undeniably makes you bad? What's the basis on which we rank how good people are and how bad people are? Like, what if somebody does something extraordinarily, undoubtedly good and saves thousands, millions of lives, but they also did something extraordinarily terrible that traumatized hundreds of thousands or whatever the fuck, right? Does that balance them out in the good bad scale? Does the bad weigh more than the good? Does the good weigh more than the bad? I don't know. I'm a little conflicted on it, because right, if Trump decides to not ban TikTok and he says, you know what, never mind, and he just reverse cards it and he says, actually, I fuck with China now and I want TikTok to stay, right? He would be doing something undoubtedly really good for thousands of people. He would be keeping the incomes of multiple families, multiple businesses, multiple creators, multiple people will not get their livelihoods taken away from them. And that is an amazing thing. But surely he would still be a bad person though, right? Surely he would still be a bad person. So where's the line drawn, right? And the thing with Mr. Beast, right? We all those allegations on him, I know a lot of them were fake, but let's entertain it for a second, right? Even if they were real, well, where does that rank him, right? He's made houses in Africa, and he's given water to Africa. He's helped blind people see. He's helped people walk and hear again. He's done all this amazing shit. He's helped people come out of debt. He's helped people not be homeless. He's done all this shit, but he also tortured one of his people for a video. He's also being mean behind the scenes. Is he a good or is he a bad person? Well, is it the motive behind it? What if, okay, well, Mr. Beast, he's doing all these good things, but for a bad motive. Okay, but he's still doing something good. So does that make him a bad person or a good person, right? Like, if what was that nigga's name? That nigga that came out saying he got tortured. I don't remember what his name was, but right, that nigga got tortured. That nigga was locked in. That nigga didn't get paid fairly. That nigga wasn't compensated, whatever, right? But what about the niggas that got cured? What about the niggas that got cured of blindness, right? Yeah, shit wasn't regulated on his show and shit, and people got hurt and terrible things happened. But what about the people he's given millions of dollars to and literally changed their lives in an instant? How much good do you need to do for your badness to not matter? And how much terrible do you need to do for your good to no longer matter? And I don't know, and I'm really conflicted. I wish I had a definite. I hit at 20%. Okay, I wish I had a definite answer, and I'm probably never gonna get one, because it's in real life, answers aren't so black and white. Answers are way more nuanced. There's way more context to certain situations and certain things to happen and don't happen. It's never just a yes or no. It's never just a red or blue or white or black or yellow or orange or pink or purple. It's never that easy. It's never polka dots or stripes or sandals or flip-flops. It's never that easy. There's so much things you need to think about and intertwine. Well, what's the degree of all the good they did? What's the degree of the bad they did? Does the bad affect them? Does the good affect them? What are the intentions behind it? Who helped them? Who are they? Oh my God. And if there's people helping them, don't even get me started. What about them? What are their intentions, right? What if there's a movie? What if there's a very popular movie coming out and one of the animators, one of the CGI artists, one of the writers, the storyboarders, the directors did something really fucking horrible? Do we have to boycott that movie now? Do we have to just not watch it and not support anybody else that was in the movie? Does it make me a bad person if I go and support that? Because there's other people in the movie that I support by watching it, right? But I'm also indirectly supporting a terrible person. What if I still want to bump some R. Kelly? What if I still want to watch The Cosby Show, right? Does that make me a bad person because I'm indirectly contributing to a terrible person who did terrible things, right? Does it still make me bad to consume the art? If I look at one of Hitler's paintings and I admire, wow, this painting looks good, does that make me a bad person? Because me alone just saying that, how dare I say anything good about Hitler, right? I'm not even saying he was a good person. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if I said his art looked good, does that make me a bad person? And that alone is probably enough to make some niggas so mad at me because they're so consumed in good and bad and good and bad bad, Hitler bad, he said good about bad, he bad. Oh my god, I'm a terrible person now. Throw me at the stake, publicly execute me, throw tomatoes at my face in the middle of the town square, chop my shit off in a guillotine. I don't give a fuck, because you're not gonna kill me. I'll come back to haunt you with all my questions. I will make sure my questions are answered. I'm not moving on into that afterlife until I get my questions answered. You can kill me all you want, I'm not gonna fucking die until I get the answer to this question. What makes somebody good and what makes somebody bad? How will I know if I should go to heaven or hell if I don't know if I'm good or if I don't know if I'm bad? What if there's relationships that I messed up in and I didn't treat them as well? Well, what if there's people that I'm genuinely helping now and giving them good advice and helping them out of bad things? But what about the people who I put in bad situations? Am I good or am I bad? Am I good or am I bad? So it doesn't matter if you kill me, because I'm not gonna know where to go. I'm gonna stay right here pestering you until I get my questions answered. What is good? What is bad? Who is good? Who is bad? How do I know where the line is drawn? How do I know where I need to be? How do I know what I should try to strive for and what I should try to not indulge in? How am I supposed to know if there's no clear line being drawn? But that's the thing, I'm not supposed to know, because there is no good or bad. There is no objective good, there is no objective bad. No matter how good you think something is, there's going to be somebody who can find a complete negative about it that can flip your opinion on it. And no matter how terribly you think something is, there's going to be somebody who can find beauty within that and find one small thing to appreciate in a realm of nothingness and disgustingness. They'll find the one flower growing within a dumpster fire, and it's all subjective. What's good and what's bad will vary from each different person. It's all dependent on our past experiences, right? Somebody who grew up in a terrible gang neighborhood, stealing a little something from a nigga, or being a nigga ass or something, that might not be bad to somebody. But somebody who grew up in a gated community with very supportive neighbors, with a very loving family, who doesn't even understand the concept of fighting other than that one kickboxing class they took in first grade, right? That might be terrible to them. Just a simple thought of stealing from a Target, a multi-million-dollar corporation, losing absolutely nothing, literally watching you steal it, letting you walk out stealing it, because they really don't give a fuck that much unless it's something of high value, right? That alone might feel terrible to them, right? Because it's all subjective. There's no good, there's no bad. It's just, what do I want to do? What do I feel right doing? What do I not feel right doing? One second I may not want to do something. The next second I may feel perfectly justified doing it. There's no good. There's no bad. There's no good. There's no bad. There's no good. There's no bad. It just is. It just is. There's just things that happen that have positive effects and negative effects that come with it, and we can decide to focus on whichever the fuck one that we want to. There's no good, there's no bad, there's no good, there's no bad. That being said, obviously killing somebody or being a EDP or some weird shit, that's bad. In terms of what I'm talking about, there's no good, there's no bad. There's no one person who can determine what's good and bad. There's no one singular being who can determine what's good and what's bad. And if there is, they need to tell us. They need to write down specifically what needs to be done and what doesn't need to be done, right? No disrespect to any Christians who are about to tell me the Bible exists. Those are stories and metaphors that we have to analyze and apply our own meanings to, right? Respectfully, that's not helping me right now, okay? But despite the answer that I think I just found, I'm still very confused. I still don't know what's good. I still don't know what's bad. I still don't know where I should end up when it's all said and done, because I have no clear view on what's good and what's bad. I have no clear view on how much good I've done and how much bad I've done and how much they may outweigh or cancel each other out, and I may never ever know. So whenever I die, I may still not know. I'm still gonna be here questioning and fiending for answers and not getting them. I may never ever know. I may be already in hell. I may have already died, and this is my hell, being burdened with so many questions just burning inside of my mind. Maybe this is what hell is. Maybe this is my punishment. Maybe I really was that bad. Maybe I really was that bad, and this is my punishment. I'm burdened with never-ending thoughts that just keep flowing and flowing and flowing, that will never ever be answered. Nobody can answer these, because there's no answer, because there is no answer. I have questions that cannot be answered. Surely this is my punishment. Surely this is some form of torment. Surely this is some form of hell that I'm living in. But they say heaven is on earth, so how can I be living in hell if there's heaven on earth? I'm so confused because there's good and there's bad on earth. So is earth hell or is earth heaven? I'm confused and I will never have my questions answered, and I'm just gonna have to be okay with that